What's up, fanboys and fangirls? Welcome to another FanTracks coming to you, of course, from fanboysanonymous.com. I am Tony Mango. With me are Callum Wiggins.
Groovy.
And Robert DeFelice. Oh, it took me a second to realize what you were doing. We are rolling along here with our Austin Powers FanTracks editions that we are spinning off from the Review to a Kill series of the James Bond franchise breakdown that we have been doing. If you haven't checked it out already, go back and watch the previous Austin Powers first one, International Man of Mystery, with us. And today we are going to be watching the second film out of the bunch, The Spy Who Shagged Me. Came out a couple years after that, and it's one that we hold in esteem of, at least what we can remember, as possibly being the funniest out of the three. So it's going to be interesting to see if that holds up over time here. It's been God knows how many years since I've seen this movie. I don't know when the last time you guys watched it was. Probably, at least a couple of years, right?
Yeah, it's been I think only a couple of years. I do like to revisit this one every now and again.
I think I watched it some point last year because I love this series.
So what we're going to do is what we always do with the FanTracks here. We are going to be able to give you a countdown of 3, 2, 1, play. And when we say play, then hit the play button on whatever it is that you're checking this out on. I have an old DVD, again, just like I did with the other one, and just like I'm going to have when it comes to Gold Member. But these guys are watching on like Amazon or on HBO Max, or, maybe you have like the Blu-ray version of it. Maybe you've got some other kind of thing, whatever it might be. It should pretty much sync up. If not exactly when we're synced up, it might be just a slight bit off. We realized that the last time around that, I don't know how it worked, but we ended up like simultaneously being a little bit ahead and behind each other on different parts. So might be just a twinge off, but it's not going to be that much of a difference. I highly doubt that somebody's going to be like, oh man, I hit play at the same button and now I'm 3 chapters behind or something. If it is, definitely let me know in the comments below. But in the meantime, also leave your comments for just your thoughts on the movie, your thoughts on the podcast, your thoughts on anything else you want to chime in about. While you're over there, hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button to the channel if you haven't done that already. If you want to help us out on the monetary side of things, there's the thanks button. You can join the members only content. You can hit up the Patreon, patreon.com/fanboysanonymous. And of course, do the same thing for, that we do with every other YouTube channel when it comes to that kind of stuff. You know how it goes. You've been around YouTube long enough. You're probably one of those youngins that grew up with the YouTube generation and everything. So I'm all set. I think these guys are all set as well, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, everybody. So we are going to get this started here in 3, 2, 1, play. This is a very Bond sounding theme to start things off. You mentioned it, I think Rob was the one that mentioned it, that they don't make fun of the opening credits in the previous film.
In the first one.
And you would think that they would make that like just one of the obvious things to do, because why wouldn't you? It's one of the most iconic things about the Bond franchise. But this, I guess, their like slight attempt at doing that. At least for the music. And of course, they're making fun of Star Wars, too.
Yeah, now going into the Star Wars parody.
The end.
I was checking to see if someone famous did this. Little narration.
I always like the da 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 kind of song. And the music in the background here is very reminiscent of You Only Live Twice, that I remember pointing out to you guys.
Yeah, I wonder if that's Myers' favorite.
It seems like he parodies that more than almost anything else, right? And then he'll get into the Fook me and Fook you kind of thing. So yeah, he pretty much parodies that part of it too.
Maybe that's just the one that came out at like a pivotal time in his life, Yeah,
it could have been when he was like the first one he watched when he was a kid or something.
Very good.
Good joke.
God, Liz Hurley, man.
Mm. Getting another ode to the love guru.
Do you guys like this retcon with Vanessa?
No.
It might. I don't know what else they could do. Well, the only other thing they could do is have her killed.
Yeah, or just I don't know, divorce or something.
Yeah, but I think this is the perfect way to like be Austin in that regard. It's like go with okay, if she died, then Austin has to be sad for a little while.
Yeah.
You don't really want to
Bond
have.
never was.
Well, to
Oh,
be fair,
Tracy.
like yeah, at the end that was at the end of the movie as well. So you can just like say in the meantime he does something else. Whereas this is like it's in canon. We've seen the fembots before, and it has a lot of funny gags like this.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's a parody. It's a silly comedy, so they can get away with the whole like this makes no sense, you know.
Mm. Do
Now, here's the
appreciate
question though:
Yeah, I think it's fun.
would you still?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like the robot Lucy Liu from
from Futurama.
Futurama. Yeah,
But that person had parents. I guess that's my thing. Is like she had parents.
Yeah, they don't address Mrs. Kensington in this movie, do they?
Mm.
Right.
Maybe there was a real Vanessa, but like it was replaced with the fembot.
True.
Maybe.
That it's just him talking to the camera.
It's the best.
There we go.
And of course, you gotta up the previous opening dance number.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of like the diff. That's like the thing that instead of the Bond movie having a like the classic opening thing, this is the Austin Powers classic opening.
Of course, at this point in pop culture, this is like the theme is well known. People have been parodying Austin Powers, even so it's become its own pop culture kind of icon.
Yeah, and we'll see. Eventually, it's just completely overblown.
Yeah.
Good use of Rob Lowe in this movie, and great use of Ham.
Yeah. Like Anne Elizabeth Hurley as Vanessa, just like it's kind of over already.
Yeah, Rob Lowe might be my favorite part about this movie in some ways. He's great for number 2.
It's kind of funny because like Rob Lowe makes a cameo in the first one, doesn't he?
Does he? I don't remember him popping up in
I
there.
don't think so.
I thought he was the guy that was doing that the guy that arranged the get together for the John henchman. It looks a lot like Rob Lowe, anyway.
I'm gonna have to go back and check that.
It may not be him. It just looks.
He's wearing clothes now.
That's how it works. Haven't you ever jumped into a pool before?
Never naked and never then to suddenly have clothes.
It's a special skill.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a spy.
Just getting into some real choreography here.
Ironically, I think Austin Powers is better at the traditional job of spying and just being a better human overall than James Bond is.
He's definitely more likable.
I just noticed the people with the fake dolphins in the corner of the screen right there.
I just have a look at this as well, because the original Austin Powers, I think, had a budget of about 16 million and made 60 million in the box office. This one had a budget of just over 30 million and made 312 million in the box office.
Wow.
Yeah. Jerry Springer.
And this guy, this actor, was the one that got ran over by the steamroller kind of thing in the previous movie.
Nice.
My father's evil was to go road again, so you have a Hitler knockoff and a Ku Klux Klan member. I didn't know the Ku Klux Klan were trying to take over the world.
Well, they are evil.
I like the little touch of him saying "or something" because it's exactly how somebody would speak like that.
This is a really nice touch, having Jerry Springer and this stuff in here.
Very of the time.
Yeah.
I mean, this was like really big popular culture at the time because it's 1999 and WWE wouldn't use Jerry Springer for another 10 or 15 years.
If you're a WWE fan, go to smarkoutmoment.com.
Yeah. Diet Coke of evil.
That's the best.
The Springer Show was such trash.
Yeah. Just like the fact they're just watching.
Yeah, not like actually scrambling any kind of response to anything.
It's quite physical, Dr. Evil, isn't it?
Yeah.
You don't really see him get like this aggressive.
Springer probably had fun doing this.
Yeah. Is this the only Springer thing in the actual like main movie? Is it? Does it happen later on? Because I know there are tons of deleted scenes with him on Springer.
Oh, that's so fucking funny.
You guys ever see Dracula Dead and Loving It?
Yeah.
I have not.
My favorite joke of the whole movie, when he just said scheduled, is a quick part where they end up having Renfield's like, oh, I have to go see the Count. And they're all like, oh, Count Dracula, he's going to go see the Count, whatever. And this one person just goes, scheduled? Here's kind of Rebecca Romijn at her peak, too.
Mm. That's kind of a Bond line, just in the Austin style.
All right, so Ivana Hump a lot. Where does that rank to you in the the funny name category.
I
Right
think it's
near the
funny.
top.
Yeah, I think it's funnier than a lot of vagina, even though that's great as well. I think this is like the ultimate Russian thing. How big is like a third rock from the sun at this point?
It's probably real big because I don't remember her being part of really almost anything else, and
There's
she
only
was
really
great
three
in
things
that.
I know. Yeah, there's only three things I know Kristen Johnson for. It's this third rock from the sun, and then there was that I can't remember the name of it now, but it was this group about like three divorced men living in an apartment together, and she was like the landlady of it.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Drawing a blank on that.
Yeah, it had Donald Faison in it, the Turk from Scrubs, and
Starbucks
again,
main band too.
Yeah. This ages better than almost anything.
Yeah.
so they've completely retconned the number two thing. I mean, I guess he's got burns on the side of his face now, but still.
Well, they established that Mustafa, not Mufasa, that's from Lion King. Mustafa could survive for quite a while, you know?
Mm.
Frow's so good.
That's very good.
Another good name. I mean, you can say what you want about Doctor Who, but he's very accepting.
Yeah.
It's just like he didn't even raise an eyebrow or anything like that at the unibrow.
Muffin looks good.
Yeah, Muffin does look good, actually.
So, Mini-Me, huge takeaway from this movie.
Yeah, massive success.
Breakout kind of character of the series, even.
He plays it so well as well.
He's so good.
Vern Troyer passed away a couple years ago, right?
2018, I believe. I like how Dr. Evil is just like, yeah, mini Mr. Bigglesworth, that's the thing, yeah.
And that fast just to fucking kill him. I had that same water bottle.
Yeah.
Mojo.
Mojito?
Very good.
I don't know what it's.
Yeah, it's great that they that little subversion
Little
on that.
translation, yeah.
Right.
Billions.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Pretty much hitting the same like here's a couple of the jokes that we had in the last movie. Let's get them out of the way until we do our new kind of ones. But that's how a sequel should go, you know?
Very good.
Just just extend this for as long as we possibly can without it getting super annoying.
Right.
That's again, that's really forward thinking. That's a wheelchair accessible time machine.
As basic as you could get, but it works.
Listen, I'm always fond of a little bit of slapstick in movies. That's really Looney Tunes as well.
Yeah,
like
the
it.
sound effect even. I mean, that's like perfect casting.
That's such good casting. Right.
Right.
It's a good desk.
It's very sophisticated for the 1960s.
Yeah. It's got to be some kind of thing with You Only Live Twice in Myers. I mean, it's one of the ones that does have some elements that's easier to parody, but he had to have that as like one of his favorites to go into.
Or one of the easiest ones to mock.
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be a lot harder to mock like Dr. No, you know?
Yeah.
Hmm.
You get the joke there, right?
Right. Never learned how to play chess.
That shocks me.
I was part of a club for a little while at school, but it never got good.
That's on my list of if I had the free time, I'd just kind of sort it all out one day, probably, and never had the free time for it. But I always thought that it was really cool. Definitely never going to reach like Kronstein levels.
Just playing with his bishop there.
Very gur.
Yeah.
I think very good got me.
Oh yeah, I remember one thing. Oh, another thing I remember. Kristen Johnson from she was from the Viva Rock Vegas, wasn't she?
Oh yeah, was she
Wilma.
the original Flintstones movie? Much better than that one.
What you mean the one with Stephen Baldwin and it wasn't the best one?
Correct.
So obviously, Mini Me, in part, a parody of Knick Knack. Who do you think was the inspiration for Fat Bastard more than anything else?
The sumo wrestler from one of the early ones.
I think he's just an original creation.
Same here. I can't really draw too many parallels.
And with
Not the the inspiration is probably you probably got the script for Shrek around about this time.
yeah, I was gonna say a human Shrek.
Because he's basically Shrek, just a bad guy.
We've all been there, right?
Ugh.
I've lost one. Yeah.
The special mojo test, obviously.
Right, yeah.
Now, how do
You
you
know who
think
ne-
that works?
I know who's never failed that test. The monkey from the Powerpuff Girls.
Nice.
Then he's just JoJo.
Yeah. It's a great great thing for the audience. Just
Yeah, it's such a great. Yeah, that's so good.
the thing is, though, a movie like this, for the most part, the time travel stuff works out.
It's rooted in enough logic.
I mean, obviously, the idea of the time travel to begin with is, fucking bonkers. But like,
We should have already figured that out by now.
yeah, like there's elements to this though that it shouldn't be any kind of paradox.
Why are people in his house if he's frozen?
Right? Yeah, it's been frozen for 2 years
I guess he just kept it open for.
for everybody to just.
It's essentially a club now. It's not really his place. It's like a club almost. So like they're shocked he's even there and they're in his place.
The whole cage thing from that era, I don't get it.
Girls in cages.
Yeah, Impact Wrestler.
Yeah. Product placement and a good joke.
Mm.
He's moving pretty good for a man without mojo.
That's a great joke.
Yeah, it's such a good guy. His reactions to everything is just so good.
Lenny Kravitz, because it is very 1989.
Well, this is an American woman, so.
And it's a great introduction to her character too, and this kind of, this really bumped up that song and helped with the movie too and everything.
Oh no, wait, this isn't the. I assumed it was because that is when the song came out.
See, I legitimately just don't know how. Like Elizabeth Hurley is amazing, obviously, but
Yeah,
like, how
Heather
can you not
Graham.
just looking at Heather Graham like that and just being like,
Yeah,
I mean, I still go Hurley, but this is like as much as like drop a comment below. Tell us your thoughts if Boogie Nights beats out Spy Who Shagged Me, Heather Graham, because to me, Heather Graham here, she never looks better.
yeah. Well, I mean, there's a slight difference about the fully frontal stuff that you get in Boogie Nights. So
Yeah, but I mean,
it depends what. Yeah, it depends what you're. To me, I've always gone like sexy's a state of mind, or like it's a characteristic, not a look. Like she's actually more innocent in the movie where she's just actually got just everything hanging out.
Yeah, it's true.
I put the girl swinger.
Of course, we got a parody of Thunderball here again.
What I find the most interesting is that Austin's teeth have gotten bad again.
Right.
Well, yeah, he's back in the '60s.
Yeah, but it's just like it's not him. It's the other.
Yeah.
It's the new Austin in Back in the Past. This is one of the greatest scenes in a comedy movie I think ever. Why? There's a brilliant deleted scene in the movie as well where you figure out they have some sort of like assassin attempt on Austin in in London at one point when he's out with Felicity, and he just pulls her out of the car, out of the trunk of the car,
Yeah.
and just uses her as a shield again.
That's great.
I think this is one of those movies where they actually made deleted scenes to be deleted scenes.
Probably did. Because that was a very popular thing.
English countryside that way. See, there's a very definitive part of the country where it's in the countryside.
Yeah.
You ever been there?
Yeah, a couple of times. Good line again.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
People are probably popping so much when they just see that Mustafa pops back up.
Yeah. Is Will Ferrell, I mean, I know this is only 1999, but is he big now?
He
Nah,
probably is, yeah.
not yet. He doesn't get big. Like, okay, now he's just doing the Will Ferrell stick until Elf comes out and what's one for Elf? Semi-Pro?
Mm.
I think he's still SNL here.
It's a good joke, though. Why not laugh?
To be fair, actually, it makes sense why he's in this movie. it makes actual time sense in terms of the fact that he was killed in the first movie, but the first movie's set in the future.
Mm.
Right.
So he's alive at this point.
I love this gag.
Yeah.
He's right though. That's
That's so good.
Yeah, there you go. The turn. Oh.
see, I'm thinking.
I don't know. No.
I guess only he'd know. I mean, they did some like research. Does smelling almonds mean that your leg is broken? The same way you're having a stroke if you smell burnt toast.
I'm always curious too about like we were talking, Fat Bastard's not really like directly a parody of anything, but Random Task was. I'm curious if they had other ideas too. Like if they wanted to parody Whisper with somebody who shouts, but it's just not popular enough.
Yeah. Yeah, 'cause I can't think of anyone who he relates to directly. Like he's clearly not a Jaws parody or anything like that. So
Right, you would think that Jaws would be the next one that they would have parodied.
yeah.
But then again, isn't it a little too simple to just, okay, Jaws had the teeth, so let's give him a different body part or something,
Mm. Also, like this really does fit into the mold of like the It was kind of a trope at this point in time to have like one actor play multiple characters.
Yeah, like Eddie Murphy had done it, and
Yeah, Doctor Dolittle and stuff like that, and Norbit later on. Right.
Back, baby, back, baby, back, baby, back, baby, back, baby, back, baby. But- That's totally how the libido works, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think Rosa Cloud ever fucked Blofeld?
I can't imagine that going down.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, well, to be fair, that actually makes more sense. This movie is probably because like Rosa Klebb character was clearly a lesbian, and they kind of built Frau off of that as well with the unibrow.
Right.
And maybe this is just like maybe it's just the power. Again, it's the magic penis. It's his mojo in terms of gay women straight. Like,
Yeah, sure.
Galore. At least he's not actually forcing her this time.
Why is that in this scene?
Well, yeah, it has to be like Austin's thing, but just that little bit more awkward.
The cutaway.
Yeah.
Which again, still parodying the Bond films, since they have a tendency to do a little bit of that.
Mm.
Spy, let me ask the shot of the submarine and all. The no thing. It's just it's a nice touch that he keeps doing that. The song's in Shrek too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's sung by Smash Mouth? Yes, Smash Mouth.
Why did they use Smash Mouth so much in Shrek?
If I remember correctly, they were really popular at the beginning of that, like right around that time frame. Yeah, they had All Star and everything, but maybe they had some sort of like a partnership kind of deal or something that they were like, let's just keep this going.
You might even say they were All Stars.
Really a tall person in the background there.
Next musical cutaway.
"20 years later, this movie still like, we don't have those flying cars. We don't have the pill form mules. We don't have the."
Well, at this point, Back to the Future is still in Back to the Future 16 years away.
Yeah.
I mean, one was like whether the 60s was kind of just like this.
But just like the free spirit kind of vibes all over the place and everything.
Yeah. And if just Elvis Costello was on a corner somewhere.
Yeah.
Actually not.
And people dance like that.
Well, Austin did, I imagine.
Now, is she not aware of what Fat Bastard did? Like,
Well, I guess she doesn't know what effect it has.
Doesn't she later on in the movie say, like, you never lost your mojo, it's been there the whole time?
Yeah,
that
maybe
would
that's
be a
kind of
very
it.
movie thing to say.
Yeah, maybe she's just into it. Like, not into the idea of him not having no idea, just
Just
into
doing it.
him.
Like, well, you never know. Maybe she likes
This
to
is
say things to George.
this is so good as well because it's just so.
Yeah.
And she never would.
Oh, the fact that he says like it's true because like, he knows.
And of course, it's like that defeats over that about it with the audience if they don't quite get it. Frau doesn't question this at all, you know?
Mm. Well, it feels quite weird as well because again, it's one thing that you just don't want to overthink too much, like they told you in the movie. But it's just, like he would be 30. I mean, I guess they never really say how old Scott is, but he looks like he's in his would be in
Yeah.
his early
Teens.
20s. So
Maybe,
teens, early
yeah.
20s. Yeah.
Well, he could have been cryogenically frozen too.
True, but it also kind of means that like all of this stuff has already happened as well. Because surely it would mean that another 30-year-old son, he'd have another like 30-year-old son instead, on top of Scott when
Yeah.
he comes back to the future.
That's the
Because to be fair, like, the Mojo doesn't. I guess it doesn't change his quote unquote personality. It just, I think he's just worried about his performance.
Yeah. That's like the difference in Mojo.
Yeah.
Then again, though, last movie he's doing the same exact thing. So, but you know, it's comedy.
Just that Viagra didn't exist in the 60s. I mean, that's what he replaces it with in future.
So what you mean? Would you,
Sad, Austin.
You should check. Well, just even think. Oh yeah, I forgot about this.
Mm.
One of the Madonna songs I actually really enjoy.
Catchy song, yeah.
Better than Die Another Day.
Yeah.
Maybe the beautiful stranger she fell in love with Sigmund Freud.
To analyze that.
It's like that was like the middle of the road. Like, you have this, which is like a really good Madonna song, and then you've got Don't Have a Day, which is a tolerable one, and then you have American Pie, the American Pie 3D that she did at the other end of this.
I really like the American Pie one.
Her American Pie? Are you serious?
Yeah. I like it better than the original. Ugh.
I mean, it seems like an interesting tactic to take when like he pretty much eats anything.
Yeah,
Could
just
just
give
give
it
it
to
in,
him
she just
to
wraps it
eat.
in meat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this is so good.
Ellie.
The Death Star.
To be fair, he's right for not knowing any of this stuff.
Yeah, true.
He's only ever
good.
lived in the 1960s and then briefly in 1997, where I don't think he probably had enough time to watch both Star Wars and figure out what the Alan Parsons Project is.
Right. Especially the Alan Parsons Project.
Yeah.
It's a good ball, right?
Yeah.
And that's even a good character trait from the previous one, since he's like, I'm tired of you pushing me around. You know?
I wonder how many times he had to take that. Maybe that's just his genuine reaction.
That probably
Yeah, it's
was.
like-
They probably took him a couple of attempts and he's just like, fuck yeah, I got it.
Or maybe he got it on the first one. He's like, oh, yes.
I think he'd try and play it too cool if he did it first time.
A bit of all right.
Yeah,
Very,
that's like,
very British phrase. Yeah.
next person I meet, I'm calling him a bit of all right.
Just get guns out in broad daylight and just start moving.
The set's very similar to the Archives, GoldenEye.
Mm.
The one hallway in particular.
What the fuck do you mean? Where is he? He's a
Yeah.
fat bastard. He didn't-
Yeah, he dived into the toilet following it.
What are you analyzing?
Oh god, this. See, this is where I think it goes a little too far the wrong way.
There's plenty of movies where the easy person eats shit kind of joke is out there. I think what makes this work a little bit is the slight, like, every time he's about to do that, he's not drinking it.
Yeah.
I think that would have been better if he would have not actually drank it.
Well, I was hoping it would give it to someone else or something.
That's disgusting.
Who do you think provides the cookies? Is this just like a
Random task.
yeah. That's a an actor you wouldn't imagine to just pop up in a bit like this, right? Robbins.
I mean, I guess so.
I like the switch around with this too.
Oh, because I had enough time to watch Jerry Maguire then.
Yeah, not Star Wars.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you're gonna say that, you're gonna you fucking mentioned Star Wars, yeah.
This is sponsored by the Alan Parsons Project.
No, it's sponsored by Heineken.
He does the exact same bit in Cat in the Hat.
Yeah. Only at this point he's like the hottest commodity, and that movie's the one that killed his career. So
Yeah.
Which part of this does he do in Cat in the Hat?
The snapping and the don't go there.
Really?
yeah, well, yeah, it's like every Dr. Seuss movie that's actually been made, like since whenever. They just have to cram in as many pop culture references as possible because can't actually just tell the story of Dr. Seuss.
And the only movie that ever does it right is The Grinch.
Yeah, he doesn't go overboard. It doesn't. It stays reasonably true to the entire thing. Whereas Cat in the Hat is just an obnoxious arsehole.
Never had any interest in watching that movie. I always thought that
Oh, it's one.
can't possibly be
Somebody
good.
set
Bad.
to make Tony sit through that movie.
Yeah,
I mean, if
that
you want to, there's the Pick Your Poison tier on Patreon. You can sponsor it.
I'm not going to
Take
watch
that
it.
literally. Poison.
Yeah, I can't watch that one again. It's too bad.
Obviously, we know which movie that this is parodying.
Yeah, Octopussy.
Clearly. It came out of the water, octopus.
Oh, I know which movie this is parodying. Lara Croft.
Huh.
No solicitors.
Who looks better, Heather Graham in that or Honey Rider? I'm going Heather Graham.
Heather-
Going
Heather
Austin. Yeah. No, Heather Graham. Yeah.
Very good.
I will say the third movie, for the most part, they take some of these things and they go past the point of it being as funny. Like they kill the Mini Me character. He works so much better when he's understated.
I mean, that was good preparation for the Hangover.
This is a good little gag with.
Yeah.
Potty humor.
Richard Gere reference.
Yeah. See, this I'm not a big fan of.
Because it just comes out of nowhere.
it really doesn't serve much of a purpose.
No, beyond just
It
seeing
was
a
a
midget
popular
dancing.
song.
Never been the biggest fan of these types of jokes, and
In general.
yeah, because like when you get into that with like Family Guy, where they just do musical cutaways, to me, it either really, really works or it just feels like it overstays its welcome. This is one of the ones that I'm like, it's not funny enough for me.
I guess they just thought they could get into like the charts by doing this.
Oh, good lord, they're still going.
Yeah,
It's probably tons of deleted things for this. Gotta get one more in there.
yeah.
Laser.
Laser.
It's so good.
God, the amount of people that quoted that line after this movie.
Mm.
So since Myers does 2 in the first film, 3 in the second film, 4 in the third film, do you think if they do end up at any point doing a 5th film, that he's just going to add another extra character on top of that he does?
Maybe.
I think he'd
I mean-
have to.
I mean, it's gonna be difficult. Surely it's gonna be difficult to do a fourth movie without Vern Troyer. I'm looking at the chemicals that they've got listed on their spacesuit. You've got H2O, so that's water, and you've got oxygen. But it says P2. And so I just looked it up, and that's diphosphorus.
Huh.
Huh.
Magma.
Magma.
I would like to see his take on a couple of the other movies, though, because between the first and the second one there, you got a lot of Dr. No and You Only Live Twice, a little bit of Thunderball. I'd like to see what he would parody if he were to do, like, the more quote-unquote modern ones, like the Brosnan era.
Like, just see him make something worse out of Die Another Day?
Yeah, like just I don't know, just to see, or at the very least, I'd like to know what Mike Myers' opinions of those movies would be. Because Sean Connery apparently was his dad's like idol, so of course he's going to have more of an affinity for the Connery films. But even the Moore ones, like they don't really parody the Moore ones as much. Is Mindy Sterling still acting?
No idea.
Let's see
I'd
here.
hope so.
This is the most recent thing that she was in here.
I don't want to miss the penis humor.
Yeah. This is great. This is probably the gag of the film.
Mm.
Great.
Yeah.
That more than anything else in this movie, that I remember making me laugh like crazy.
Yeah. Why they put a chair in there in the first place then if they were just going to do that? We did.
That's an old Bond phrase, of course. They reference it in the first movie too. Funny that they needed a stunt double for that.
Mm. It's quite a pretty big leap.
He could still jump.
You know that. Have you ever seen Mike Myers jump in a movie?
With all of the mommy stuff, we might actually need to get Sigmund Freud to analyze
Yeah,
this.
maybe. Hmm. Do, 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 do. Understated joke.
Mm. I can't help it. I just really like slapstick. So, like, you read. Like, you don't really need, like, you'd have the rest of the movie without this being in here, but like, it's just funny.
No way in hell would I ever go to space.
I think you would have to. I could see you having a good time in space.
Nah, fuck all that. I don't even like going on airplanes.
Yeah, maybe the lack of gravity would like correct some back issues or something. I don't know. I think
That's true. Maybe that would help. Maybe I could be cryogenically frozen for a while and it'll help with my lack of sleep. There's the E from...
Which is what I was driving
Yeah.
Look how honest Dr. Evil is. I didn't know
Yeah.
that. Jiminy German Jesus?
Well, apparently that was a thing as well.
But
There was an idea instead of if they couldn't figure out the logistics of actually getting a rocket to land on the moon, that their plan was to, as a show of dominance towards the Russians, to nuke the moon instead.
what? How the hell does that make any sense?
God,
Yeah,
I'm
that
so
was-
proud. I'm so proud to be an American.
Just,
Yeah.
if we can't explore, let's wipe it off.
Yeah, here's it. Project A119, also known as a study of lunar research flights, was a top secret plan developed in 1958 by the United States Air Force. The aim of the project was to detonate a nuclear bomb on the moon, which will help in answering some of the mysteries in planetary astronomy and astrogeology. But yeah, they were actually
Stupid
planning to
idea.
nuke the moon.
We're such a stupid country.
They're all sitting there at a conference table. They're like, so, ladies, gentlemen, we need to figure out something to do with the moon. We need to, toss around some ideas. What do you guys got? Somebody's like, I think that we should take a bunch of our scientists and we should figure out the proper rockets to go there. We can explore. We can collect samples. We could ever. Somebody is like, nuke it. Nuke the fucking place. Bombs. It's my idea. Like,
This is a
Johnson,
great
why do
fight
you say nuke it to everything?
This is a great fight scene as well.
Peace. That's so good.
Judo flip.
Oh,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
The sound is great and all.
He really Gene Snitsky'd that problem away from
Yeah.
Oh, oh God. Oh no, please. This is definitely the peak of the franchise. Not this scene, but like this movie.
Yeah, this is great. I'm having
It's
a
certainly
lot
not
of
the next film, that's for sure.
fun. Oh yeah.
More poo poo here. One small step for man.
Slaphead a common insult?
Yeah.
Maybe when they're bald, or is that really a thing?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a reference for being bald.
Oh, okay. See,
I found it more funny about the fact that like, when Austin comes in, obviously they can't have him and Doctor Evil in the same shot, so it's a completely different actor.
Yeah. Same thing with the when he was frozen.
Mm.
They just had, I'm assuming, his like stunt double probably was doing that. Imagine if like all the movies were just that simple, just like yeah, bang, shoot. Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, it happens in Spy Who Loved Me. He just shoots him.
yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, I have questions.
Mhm.
Mm.
No, not really.
I mean, the main question is really that like he's already proven earlier in the movie that he never saw Star Wars.
Yeah. Well, no, maybe he's watched it since then. It's been a couple
Oh.
days.
Oh yeah. He's been singing too much.
Simple enough guy.
Yeah.
Destination 10 minutes ago.
Mm.
Of course he would be doing this, right?
Yeah. Or Bond would be.
Yeah.
We're sexy bitches. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that a little bit.
Yeah.
Surprised I didn't see judo punch.
Don't be ridiculous.
The little
I like the little
Yeah.
symbol.
emblems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where does he go?
He goes to 99 as well. There's another deleted scene where he's in bed with both of them.
With Felicity and the other Austin?
Yeah.
Huh.
Or it's like thing where Austin comes back and he sees that Felicity's in bed with someone and he gets upset and he's like, what the hell's going on? And finds out, oh, it's the other Austin. It's fine.
Huh. Hmm.
Maybe
No, but
maybe
the
it airs during the credits.
It might air. Yeah, it might be in the credits actually.
That doesn't spring to mind, so it might be just a deleted scene.
To be fair, the 70s, no one really talks about the 70s and 80s too much anyway.
Odd that a flock of seagulls would get the reference.
Even the ship design, of course.
Mm.
Classic. Like Kool-Aid Man.
I wonder when he came to the future. I guess there's a time machine in the lava base.
Who is?
How many people probably popped at that on the set? Just that little squeeze that he did.
Mm.
Gonna make that joke now, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You couldn't do Fat Bastard now. Because I eat.
That's a line that like has more weight to it than it seems like it would, right?
That a pun?
That's plenty of white.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The FBD, Fat Bastard Department, or the Fast Bastard Delivery.
Nice. What a great thing to call your testicles.
The
Like
mommy
he
daddy
actually
button.
invented. No, because I don't think I'd ever heard that phrase before. So like that's a common one or anything like that. I think they just invented it.
I mean, the amount of times that he, the meat and two veg and whatever in the previous movie. It's probably one of the ones that he thought of for the previous scene.
Not a big fan of this ending, but whatever.
Not a big fan of the 60s.
Yeah. Everyone from the 60s just came back.
Such a good call back to this.
Yeah. Just get as many references as possible.
Right.
There's quite a lot of cameos in this as well. It's pretty good.
Evil is his one and only.
Who does the song for this? Anybody know offhand?
Couldn't say.
Not that she's on Shirley Bassey's level, but
Let's see.
Will Ferrell gets a. Oh, it's not third credit, just extra thing. That's kind of weird that they placed those there. It's just so there was a test tube baby.
That's so good.
Some good news on the Jerry Springer stuff. Yeah, this is it.
Oh, see, I don't remember this at all. I remembered the Frau thing, but
To be honest, it actually explains quite a lot about the third movie as well. Because instead of
like she just goes off with one other Austin kind of thing.
Yeah, they decide, okay, one Austin just ends up with it.
It's great.
Yeah.
Callum, would you ever use the line to be sponsored boiling?
Maybe I was cooking potatoes. I think that's like a really dangerous medical condition. They have to be at a certain temperature, otherwise, like things can happen.
That's fantastic.
So there is one more movie to the mix here. Austin Powers and Goldmember. That'll be our third and obviously final edition of this kind of round of things coming up whenever we record that. And it'll be we releasing these like once a week kind of deal. So I'm assuming whenever you're listening to this, next week is probably when that'll end up dropping. But that one's nowhere near as good. There's still some solid jokes for it, though. And it's the one that I've seen the least, so there's elements to it that I completely don't remember, I'm sure. This one, if it's not the best, there's an argument for it that it is.
It's definitely... What happens with the third one, I think, this is a little preview, is, okay, it's a full-blown franchise now, so now we're going to overdo it.
Yeah. Like most comedy. Whether it's, an individual comedian or it's a franchise, there's a difference between, like, let's go back and do that same kind of joke and just kind of pump it up a little bit, and then let's do something a little bit different, too, and then, like, whatever. Everybody ends up, falling victim to that kind of stuff. Will Ferrell, of course, we mentioned earlier, this is, like, before he becomes, do the Will Ferrell shtick and everything. Not many third films really all that great in a different series.
No.
I would argue, just sticking with Mike Myers, that Shrek 1 and 2 are good. 3 and 4, nah.
I actually quite like the fourth one. I
didn't know that they did a fourth. I've only seen the first one.
Yeah, well, the fourth one's called actually it's not called Shrek 4, is it?
It's like Shrek Forever
Shrek
or something.
Forever After. It's Shrek
Forever After.
There you go.
Like that, yeah. There's a few like that. I mean, Return of the King is one of the. It's not as good as the first or the second Lord of the Rings movie, but it's pretty damn good. Toy Story 3 is great.
Yeah, Toy Story 3's got a lot of good stuff.
Good to throw a bit more Ferrell in here. Let's get a bit more Will Ferrell in there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? The fact that he talks to the lobby as well.
All right, everybody, that is Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me. Thank you for listening with us and following along and having some fun, hopefully. Drop your comments below. Make sure you are subscribed. You're following us all over the place, whatever it might be. You can follow us individually, of course, at Tony Mango for me, and these guys at their accounts.
Yeah, I'm at Dude Felice on every social media platform, and you can check out Fightful.com if you're into the pro wrestling side of things. Callum?
Yeah, I'm at Weekmice14 on Twitter, and as we mentioned earlier, just check out smartcoatmoment.com for all your wrestling-related needs outside of the stuff that you can find on Fightful.
And stay tuned to fanboysanonymous.com for whatever else is happening next outside of, the next one of these movies. But movie reviews and some other kind of content here and there on the geek culture spectrum. If you want to see anything in particular, drop a comment below. In the meantime, just stay safe, and we will see you next time, everybody. But for now, it's time for us to geek out.